This is a message from your guides reading for Human Angel. Okay, so I have two crystals here. One group crystal and then one for your reading. So I'm going to go ahead and surround us in some protective space. I think actually I'm going to use both of these one at a time. Okay, so I'm going to begin with my aura, my angel aura quartz. There's some really intense energy all of a sudden from your guides. Your guides really like to come around you kind of closely, but this isn't the only reading where I've noticed that. There have been some other readings as well where I felt your guides very close around me or very close around you. So that just has to do with well, part of it has to do with your gifts, actually, as well. But then, on the other hand, it also has to do with whatever they're doing. And it feels like they're constantly even using your own gifts, actually, to aid you with removing different things. So a lot of this is on a subconscious level that you're doing this stuff, but also it feels like they are actually using your own abilities to help clear you, or almost even the energy of that, because there's like a lot of energy with you and around you that's specifically for that and about that. So it's very easy to kind of utilize your own energy surrounding that idea to help you with manifesting just what you are removing. And then even it feels like manifesting in general. Okay, for some reason they're talking about career. And that's pretty obvious, though. I know that's obvious to you, that you're not, this doesn't just feel like you're not in the right place of work. This just feels like career in general, like you're not in the right career. You're not really going to move forward with this specific job or this kind of job. It just doesn't really feel like you're meant to. It doesn't really feel like you belong there, or that you belong in that type of place and that type of surrounding. It feels like even though you want to get out, at the same time, it almost feels like, what is the point in a way? Because it feels like you're just going to be in a similar kind of situation, doing the similar types of things. Even if you're around different people and maybe those people don't treat you in the exact same way, it still feels like some of them would, though. Just because it feels like that's kind of common for you to attract that right now anyway, in this specific vibration that you're in, just because you're still holding on to some of this stuff from your past lifetimes. So it's not you attracting it then, in other words, it's this past life kind of karmic energy that's still there. It's funny because they're reminding me of this, but I read somewhere today, there was a YouTube video that I was watching and someone commented below, and the person was talking about karma, and in parentheses they said vibration, and they were just mentioning that basically karma, it has to do with almost like some of your vibration comes with you into the next life. But it is, so they're saying, but it is like you are carrying this kind of vibration from those lives that's still there with you, and it can attract things from out of that energy. But you can also react to things out of that energy versus your current energy. And your current energy can be similar to that energy from that past life if you are operating out of it, even if your situation, your circumstance is completely, totally different, and even if you're in a totally different country, maybe you've had a totally different life than what you experienced then, and yet you're still triggered by a lot of the same things, or maybe you even still look even similar to the way that you did then. It can be different things that show that you're carrying some of those energies along with you into this lifetime. So then this question about the singing and how you're standing up and you feel these emotions. They're saying that even though you are empathic, this feels more like it has to do, again, with your past lives. Even if you were to be picking up on someone else simultaneously, it feels like this energy from these past lifetimes would only almost make you more open to that, more susceptible to that, since you already have it and you've agreed with it in those lifetimes, and part of you still holds on to that agreement. So exposing yourself is not something that this part of you wants to do. So even just standing up, you might feel something that that's not really that surprising, because you are kind of more forward, or you are more exposed, like you said in the email, that word that you used. One thing that your guides really want is for you to, in this lifetime, for you to have good experiences with your abilities, and with like contacting them, connecting with them, other entities as well, whatever entities you call on, and just in general using your gifts, also interacting with other humans about your gifts, and even with your gifts or through your gifts, even using them to help others. And learning that you are fine, you're not going to be attacked or anything like that. And even if you don't always consciously feel that, It's very much there in your subconscious. Obviously, when you come into a different situation, then thought forms and beliefs adapt and they can become about other things. There can also just be an avoidance to using psychic abilities or feeling like you would want to help others with mediumship or different psychic abilities and things like that. And there can be an avoidance to that kind of path, for instance. Okay, so now boundaries. You need to start feeling differently about setting boundaries. The thing with guides is that from a higher perspective, well, they see things very differently. They can see layers of things and they can see shifts in things. But for one thing, you're setting more boundaries with your energy. You're setting more boundaries with thought forms. You're also setting more boundaries with people. So energetically, you're setting more boundaries where you're going to end up coming into an energy where you're going to realize that you're not as bombarded by things. You're not as bombarded by others' energies. You're protecting yourself more. This is the same with thought forms. You're protecting yourself more. And you're learning to protect your space better. You're learning to not allow others to intrude on your space as much as you were. And little by little, it feels like this is becoming a significant improvement. And the thing is, it's like you need to acknowledge that. You need to see the positives when it comes to setting boundaries. That this can be a positive thing. That you are actually already good at it. You are already good at setting boundaries. It's just more of a thing of thinking that you're not. And so then being open to influences. A lot of the time when you're empathic, if you're setting a boundary with someone else, you're going to feel their reaction. But obviously confrontation, because of these past lives that you had, this would be an issue. So the thing also is when you have such an issue with it, if they're seeing that you're getting better with it, it's like when you had such an issue with it and you have gotten a bit better with it, at the same time, there's still so much of an issue there just because of how big the issue was to begin with. Obviously, it will take some time to clear the entire thing. But at the same time, it feels like it's going to help you to value how you have moved along and to focus on that. Even these meditations that you do, you're learning to set boundaries with thought forms. These thought forms are creeping into your space, and you feel that, well, now you're to the point where you are aware of that and you can take some action where you know what to do, and they can stop harming you and they'll get out of your space more and leave you more alone. And You'll be in a better mood. You'll feel more grateful. You'll feel more heightened. And they won't affect you as negatively. You won't feel the effects of them so much. So even that is learning to set a boundary. And they're saying that that's definitely a long way from where you were before. Before it would just be like these energies would just hit you and it would just be there for days. They would just come creeping up on you completely where you didn't know what to do. You couldn't really feel the difference. Like, oh, I'm doing this thing and this stops it. Nowhere near as well as you could now. So they're saying that this is a huge area where you've improved on setting boundaries with your space. And they're saying that the energetic happens first. So if you can improve in that area, you can definitely improve in other areas as well. You can definitely improve more in physical ways, like with physical people, physical situations with others, but also even with yourself, if there are boundaries that you ever need to create with yourself. But it will be easier to do that, obviously, than with other people because you're not going to feel this same fear of being attacked or confrontation type of thing. If you can acknowledge that and understand that you've improved, that's only going to help you voice your opinion more. That's only going to help you with confrontation more. But they're saying that a lot of what almost feels like confrontation isn't really. It's just simply stating your opinion. But with the thought forms that you have, sometimes a simple thing like that can trigger these emotions. So it can end up feeling more like a confrontation. It can end up feeling like it's a little bit bigger than it is, or maybe even a lot bigger than it is. When really it's just this simple conversation that you're having where you're just simply stating your opinion, really. You can call it setting a boundary, and it is. A lot of times it is. But still, sometimes you have to confront someone to set a boundary, and other times you're really just stating your opinion. This is what I think. This is what I want to do. It's not confronting the person. You're not saying, stop doing this, this is harming me, and putting more of an effort or more of an energy into this. And that's why it can feel more like a confrontation. It has to do with the level of effort and energy put into doing it, put into stating your opinion. That's why it can feel like it's bigger than it is. Because of the amount of energy that has to be put forth to get yourself to do it. Even if it's like a very simple thing, it can feel like a bigger thing than it is. But it feels like the more that you just practice doing it, the easier it becomes. So they're saying that, yes, there are ways to improve, but you've definitely gotten a lot better already, especially in certain areas, and other areas follow, and definitely energetically. And that's the thing, is that the physical, the emotional, the mental, all of those areas, all those bodies, they follow the energy body. They follow the energy body's lead. Okay, so now they're reminding me about this question that you had about the cow, how you've been seeing this cow. And you're wondering if it was this specific cow that you were speaking to, or is it something else? It kind of feels like both to me, actually. It's weird because I kind of feel this energy almost like it's a totem. There's even a stronger sense with it, almost like a power animal. So the difference, or one of the differences anyway, a totem to me, I kind of think of a totem as more temporary. You can think of it like a guide sometimes, almost like it's a temporary guide, or sometimes it's not even like kind of substantial temporary, like maybe it's there for a month or two, or even, who knows, more months than that, or years. Usually not years if it's just a totem, but with a power animal, this is more like somebody who's actually guiding you, as in they're there to stay. Or at least they're there to stay for a much longer time. So they're not like a passing totem. Because then you also have totems as well that are just, they just give you a quick message and that's it. They're just there to send you a message maybe for the day. You know, it's not like they are staying with you, guiding you. So this kind of feels like both. It feels like it's a totem animal or even like a power animal kind of energy. Power animal feels a little bit strong though, only for the reason that it doesn't feel like it's like your one power animal or something. But it just feels, it doesn't feel so much like a passing energy, like just a totem animal. Then at the same time, there's an energy from it of this specific animal that you were talking to and communicating with. So I'm just asking if this is literally that specific animal, or is it like another animal that went through this specific type of experience as this cow did? There's almost an energy of it being some type of representation as well. Like almost like, it feels like a she, almost like she represents it's weird because it also feels almost kind of androgynous somehow. It feels male also. It feels like it could be either. But there's almost a feeling like he almost represents almost not even just the cows, but those animals in general at the slaughterhouses. It feels almost like there's an energy like she can almost represent that or almost stand in for that. I don't know how to put that exactly. But it's almost like a representation of that energy in general. Also, there's an energy almost like gratitude like the cow is thanking you, like it feels thankful or grateful in some way. So there's almost a feeling like it feels comforted by you. And it wants to be around you. But I feel like you could easily attract other animals to you that are similar like this, because it almost feels that way, like she can represent other, not just cows, other animals in similar kinds of situations. But this does feel like a really positive, protective kind of energy. So this is a good energy to have around you. And I don't feel like you're just seeing some picture in your head, or like you're thinking about this and then you're seeing it in your head. It feels like it's popping into your head. It feels like a real thing that you are like suddenly seeing. Okay, so they're finally answering this. I don't know why they were, well, I guess they had other things to say about it, but it does feel like it's that specific animal. But I don't feel like that's necessarily the only animal like this that you could have around you, or maybe even that you've had around you before. It feels almost like there's the potential to have more animals like this around you. But at the same time, I don't feel like you should give too much energy and too much thought to their struggles and things like that, or maybe you would attract more of them at the same time. Now, at the same time, though, I feel like this one animal around you will probably end up drawing some others there as well. I don't know, maybe friends of hers, his. Okay, so I'm just looking at these questions that you have here. Oh, yeah, this one specific one here, so you're dreaming of sometimes speaking to someone and then giving them something. But I feel like there's more to it than just this, okay? But one thing that's definitely there that I kind of pick up on is like excess energy, or even having to do with the thought forms and various like past life energies that you're removing. I know that almost sounds bad that you're almost like handing that to them, but it's like this symbology of you're getting rid of it. It also feels like it has to do with clearing out space to bring in something new, it feels like. Bring in like a more positive energy. So this is almost like a more positive way of looking at it. If it's almost like a gift, like you're giving it away, you're giving it to someone. It almost feels like you're making room, almost like spring cleaning or something. You're like making room for something more positive to fill the space. At the same time, it doesn't feel negative in this dream. There's not like a negative feeling with you handing it to the other person. It doesn't feel like it's negatively affecting someone else. It just feels like this is just this almost symbology of you're getting rid of it. Or somebody's even like taking it. Somebody wants it. Like they want to help you remove it, almost. Okay. There might be something more to that as well. But that's what they're saying about it for right now. Okay, there's another question in here. I don't feel like they want to answer that one quite yet, though. Okay. Okay, so this dream down here, again, I feel like there might be other things that this is saying or has to do with. But one thing that your guides are saying is that it's also having to do with you almost using your abilities to heal others. Even if you weren't like going up to him and doing like actual like a psychic healing or something like that, still, it's almost like a metaphor or like symbology of using your abilities to help someone. It even feels like empathically you were able to kind of tune into the person. And so even by that, you're able to help people. And then he goes away and you wake up. So it feels like you're really just there to help this person. Because as soon as he feels better and he walks away, you wake up, you're not at this place anymore. This place, it feels like some type of like gathering. For some reason, I don't feel like they want to get into what this place exactly is yet. I'm wondering if this is a real place, because I know that you definitely go places when you're dreaming, and then obviously sometimes you're going to have dreams that are just messages that your guides gave you when you were sleeping, but it wasn't exactly like you went somewhere. I don't really feel like they're answering that, though. Okay, so that is all that your guides have to say for this reading. So thank you very much, Human Angel, once again. I truly hope that this benefits you, and I will see you next week.